welcome to today's edition of Health Fit TV. I'm with Tyler Forbes. He is the Director of Fitness at Tyco Johnson Control Integrated Systems now. It's one of our corporate wellness settings. He's the fitness director here. We actually have an on-site chiropractic, and we also do ergonomics. And our topic in our talk today is going to be health and fitness for the desk jockey. And so we're going to dive into some details on what he feels is very, very important for the desk worker to take into consideration with their health and fitness. He's been doing this for a handful of years on site at corporations, so he's really in the trenches when it comes to health and fitness, when we're pertaining to desk sitters and the just corporate wellness arena. So without further ado, Tyler, welcome to the show today. We really appreciate your time. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
So I'm a certified personal trainer and wellness coach, and Tyco brought me on about 4 years ago. And so pretty much what I do here is I run and operate their fitness operations. We have fitness classes. I offer personal training services, and it's just to give the employees an opportunity to be able to, kind of step away from the desk and come in and work out and kind of have a little bit of a healthy getaway within the building rather than having to travel around.
Yeah, that's one of the key things is we're in the fitness center here at the corporation. Inside this fitness center is a treatment room with massage, chiropractic, and so it's all on site here for the employees. There's probably 500 or 600 employees here, I think. Do you know what the number?
Well, in this building, there's 800 capacity.
Yeah.
So
800 employees. They have everything here from a health and wellness standpoint they would want on site, and then you've been able to really guide them.
Yep.
Correct. So,
yep.
All right.
So I pretty much facilitate the fitness center. I do break room bulletins and newsletters, manage the classes, and give them an opportunity to kind of let loose and have a good time and stay healthy at work.
Yeah, and obviously we've worked together a lot with these folks, and I've noticed that you're always doing a lot on the education side with them and trying to just be that resource for anything pertaining to their health, their musculoskeletal health, and even nutrition and things like that. So it really is nice for them to have that on site. And so what I want to focus on today is, what are your top 3 things that you are seeing? I know there's probably more, but the top 3 that you're really concerned about or focusing on for the desk worker to really try to make some transformational changes for them.
Sure. The 3 biggest things that I find are posture, the lack of movement, and also stress management.
Yeah.
Those 3 right there take a big toll on the human body, the way that it works. And
yeah, those are 3 big ones, and it's like sometimes when you take one of them, like posture, it can really cascade into a lot of different causes and effects. So let's break down posture first, and we'll go down to the other 2. What are you seeing with posture? What are you doing with posture? What are some of the tidbits you have?
Well, what I realize with me is that I forget to check my posture.
Yeah,
it's very easy when you're sitting at a desk for several minutes to hours.
Yeah.
The posture, I mean, even while driving at home, but more so at work, you're there for 8 hours a day or more. So with me, I have to constantly remind myself to check my posture. And so some ways that I do that, I have a side mirror, just a small mirror that kind of it's to my side, and it reminds me when I take a look at it, I'm slunching or I'm looking down or looking forward, and so I see that out of the corner of my eye, and it reminds me to pick my chest up, squeeze my shoulder blades, have that straight spine. So that's a big one. Also, I recommend clients to use sticky notes or even calendar reminders on your phone to go off and say, check your posture.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is that we just forget to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the awareness is, and it's not a habit-forming thing for people. I really like your mirror thing, and I guess a person could at their workstation, you don't have to get this huge wall mirror, but if you have a setting where you have a wall on one of the sides, you could probably just get a regular mirror that at least shows kind of your head and shoulders part of it, I would say. And you can just kind of have that as a reminder, and you'll look over and see it and be like, oh, okay, I'm like this.
Yeah.
All right, I enjoy that. That's a really good, helpful one there. As far as with the reminders, are you finding that if they have the awareness and the reminders set, but also incorporate some fitness stuff, are they seeing improvement with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of my clients, they'll have little pop-up messages. They have a pop-up IM system on the computer. They can set up calendar reminders on that just to kind of pop up on the computer and say, check your posture.
Awesome. And then as far as like a couple things inside of the gym here, what do you do for them to try to work on their posture?
So one main thing I work with my clients on is the contraction of the shoulder blades, doing a lot of back exercises. A lot of people neglect the back, weak rhomboids, it's going to cause those shoulders to come forward, so it's going to loosen those back muscles, it's going to contract the chest, and it's just a snowball effect from there.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people in the gym try to focus on the vanity muscle or the beach muscles,
right.
And it's all chest and lats and anterior shoulders to get that developed, and it pulls them forward like that. So you're trying to work on the opposite and getting them a lot of mid-back rows and stuff. And so I'm assuming you're tailoring a lot of their fitness programs
Absolutely.
to the fact that they are a desk worker, right? Kind of like if you were working with a professional baseball player, you would tailor it towards baseball per se. With them, you're really trying to take into consideration what they deal with at the desk. So awesome,
That's
perfect. All right, so let's move on to number 2, which is movement, which is kind of part of. I think the big, really, if you had to name one thing that could really help people out, combat against a lot of ill effects of sitting, is movement's got to be like the big one. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we've been hearing through the recent years that sitting as dangerous as smoking. It's called the sitting disease.
Yep.
It can cause many health issues and more so skeletal issues with the nerves and the spine, and like we talked about earlier with the posture. Yeah. So the biggest thing with movement is we just need to also remind ourselves to move. So the first suggestion that I tell my clients to do is take mini water breaks.
Okay.
They're simple, they're quick and easy. You don't need to be gone for 30 minutes. It's good to have your water at your desk to stay hydrated, but taking those mini water breaks are going to get you up off your desk, walking all the way to the drinking fountain, and then you're also rehydrating while you're doing that too. So just a basic goal would be 10,000 steps a day. That's what you're trying to do, and you try to get those during the day, not necessarily when you're at home. You can tack on some extra credit when you get home, but 10,000, which is a challenge when you're talking about the 9 to 5, the office. Yep. So doing those little trips, you'd be surprised how many steps that you can actually rack up.
Yeah, and 10,000 is a number you can definitely go more. So don't feel like you're hitting close to 10. It's like, oh, I got to back off a little bit now. Like if you get to 15, great. I think now the advent of the iPhone and the other smartphones, they have the tracking on there that you can do. I know a lot of people are utilizing that. If not, if you're in a situation where you don't have your phone on you or you can't carry it on you, like me, when I'm in my clinical setting treating patients, I don't want my phone with me because it's a distraction. There's obviously wearables for that, and you can really gauge that. So those micro breaks, the movement throughout the day, just incorporating whether it's the water fountain, walking, meetings, going instead of emailing a colleague or messaging them, going to talk to them. Just don't take a cigarette break. Sitting is a new smoking, but a cigarette break is not a micro break.
Exactly.
So the mobility is huge when it comes to that. Is there any other aspects?
Yeah, I do. So a lot of positions within this office, they don't allow you to get up a lot.
That's true.
So you could be on the phone all the time. But what I have for that is it's called the Trifecta.
Okay.
So it's 3 exercises that you can do at your desk. It's simple. You don't need a lot of space to do it. The first one's going to be a desk push-up where you're diagonal and you're holding onto the desk or a chair and you're just doing simple push-ups. And you can do that on the wall, your desk, your chair. So that's going to get the upper body going, get the blood flow up there. Yep. And then the other one is going to be doing body squats. So
nice.
You stand up out of your chair, you got your hands out in front of you. Obviously you're checking on your form. Posture's big, chest up, shoulders back. Pressure on your heels, hands out, and you're just doing 10 body squats. Nice. Then the other one's going to be 10 shoulder blade contractions. So you're squeezing those shoulder blades back, you're letting them forward. You're squeezing them back, you're letting them forward. So again, you're being reminded to work your posture and strengthen those weak areas.
Yeah, those are really, really easy to do, and it's something that you can just incorporate in your daily routine. You don't have to go to a delineated, gym or spot in the aerobics room, and you can just do it there to help supplement your fitness routine. So perfect. Anything else with the movement? Pretty good.
Yep.
All right. Obviously the movement is extremely vital. So make sure you're incorporating that into your daily routine. The next one you had mentioned was stress. And, there's like a saying, and I'm not saying it completely right, but it was something along the lines of I don't need to see a therapist because I exercise type of thing. Like
Right.
exercise can be one of the best forms
Absolutely.
of stress management, mental acuity, all the things that we really want to have from a positive aspect from the mental side of things, performance and stress relief. You mentioned that, and fitness is like
Yep.
number one, if not.
I would agree.
Like it's like fitness, nutrition. It's
I would
neck
agree.
and neck, right? So let's touch on that a little.
I would
bit.
say that that's your number one natural, drug-free, stress
is.
reliever, antidepressant.
Absolutely.
So, stress can take a toll on us too. Our mind, our body, our spirit, everything. So, mindfulness is something that we need to start bringing into, and we can do this at our desk. And a lot of people think, I got to go to a mindful class, or I have to go to yoga, or do something like that. But mindfulness can be done at your desk, and it can take 2 minutes.
Nice.
So a simple way that you can do mindfulness at your desk, because everybody does deserve time for themselves. And so what you can do is pretty much take off everything that has to do with work, a headset, your hand off the mouse, and simply, place your hands on your legs. Again, we're working on our posture, your chin up, and simply just close your eyes and focus on your breathing. The type of breathing pattern you want to focus on is a 3-second in through the nose and a 3-second out through the mouth. And you do this for 2 minutes. And if you do this for 2 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day, I mean, the benefits are tremendous as far as just, your mindset, your productivity, because what do you want? Less stress or more productivity? Because, when you have less stress in your life, you're naturally going to be more productive, healthier, and everybody else is going to like you a lot more.
Yeah, I've actually done a lot of reading up on the breathing, and it's amazing. Like I look at it from two perspectives. What you said, I've heard some people call it box breathing, which is exactly what you said, 3 in, 3 out, maybe with some holds. But just that nice breathing is huge. And then there's also the physiology of breathing, which is making sure you don't have what's called paradoxical breathing. A lot of people, when they breathe from the upper chest, and it kind of goes up like that. Mm-hmm. I'm exaggerating a bit, versus using the diaphragm, which is more the abdomen.
Yep.
And so if you can really focus on the breathing that you mentioned and also incorporate it with the abdominal breathing, it can be very helpful. Just a little tidbit on that. You can lay on your back in the hook lying position where your knees are up, feet are flat. Place one hand on the abdomen and one on the chest, and focus on that breath starting from the abdomen, not from the chest, and that will help you out. That's not really necessarily what you have to do at the desk. That can be at home and just focus on that. But when you're doing the type of breathing you're mentioning, if you could do it from the physiological standpoint correctly as well, it'll really help out. And the research and the evidence and just the anecdotal, like I do the breathing like you're mentioning, and it just helps. Even if I'm in traffic, and it's a nightmare out there, I'll do the breathing, and it's amazing how much calmer I am with that. So it really can transcend the desk. It can just really be a big part of your life. But doing it at the desk, like you said, is going to help everything. What are some of the benefits you're seeing with the breathing, other than stress relief?
Just your mood.
Yep.
Your productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Your stress management.
Yep.
It's so easy to let your life and to let work. You are at work, but work should not really consume every bit of your being.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and even things that are outside of your life too. Sometimes we just need to take time for ourselves.
Yep.
It's not thinking about when you need to pick your kids up.
Yep.
And relating to work, it's not thinking about that meeting or thinking about that office call that you need to do, or your requirements here. But sometimes just to take 2 minutes and not think about anything, or at least try. That's the point. It's hard not to think about anything, but the more you practice at it, the better you're going to get.
And I meditate, and that's the thing, is like your mind can wander during that 2 minutes, but it's that ability to refocus in. And your brain is malleable, just like your body is. Like you can make a lot of good changes to your body through fitness. You can actually change your brain through this type of mindfulness, and by refocusing, when you lose it, refocusing, you'll notice as you get better at it and you practice, you'll have a much smoother 2 minutes. And let's face it, like our jobs require us to perform at a high level. If you're performing at a high level, you may get that raise, you may get that move up the ladder, so to speak.
That's a good point.
It's so true. Like the people that perform at a high level, they move up. They move up for a reason usually, and it's their ability to focus on work. And we have so many things going on outside of work, like you mentioned, that if we harp on that and we let the stress eat away at us, do you think you're going to produce at the highest level that you could? Probably not. We all can relate to times in our lives where things have been difficult in our personal life, and it definitely, without a doubt, affects your work. So this is a way to improve your stress management and your performance. So it's a great topic that you brought up. So I
Absolutely.
really appreciate that
Absolutely.
one. I think it goes unnoticed too
Yeah.
often. It really does. So that's great. I appreciate that. So thank you for diving into those three.
Absolutely.
I'd love to, if you have anything else that you have for a quick recommendation for the desk jockey, let them know, and just if they want to reach out to you, have any questions, anything like that, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, my business is Forbes Fitness, and so what we do is specialize in corporate wellness. I have a website up, ForbesFitnessNow.com. You can go there. It has my contact information. And if it's not about corporations, I also feel free to welcome you to email me about anything, nutrition, supplementation, fitness ideas, and workouts. So you can contact me through that website.
Perfect. You can put any questions in the comments down the road if you have. We check this periodically afterwards. So thank you for listening. We'll be with you next week as well. Have a great week in the office, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah.